right, good job, choir. Thank you, Brother Joey, for leading us. They put that together tonight. Never heard it before, sight read it. Let's do it, they said. And we said, okay. Somebody said it. And Brother Joey stepped in and led us, filling in for Brother Robert, praying for them. Genesis. Back in Genesis. Y'all know what we're going to talk about tonight? Joseph. Nope. I'm just kidding. We are. Been going through the story with Joseph. Chapter 45 it is. Genesis 45. Last Sunday morning we read through verse number 8, so we'll start in verse number 9 tonight. 45:9. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me a lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not. And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen. Thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. And there will I nourish thee, for yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household and all thou hast come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see in the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. Ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen. Ye shall haste, and bring down my father hither. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck, and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren, and wept upon them. And after that his brethren talked with him. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. And it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto thy brethren, This do ye, lade your beasts, and go. Get you unto the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. Now therefore, now thou art commanded, this do ye, take you wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones, for your wives, and bring your father, and come. So Joseph has, in the beginning of this chapter, this is the conversation. Joseph couldn't refrain himself any longer from his brethren. At the beginning of chapter 45, he revealed himself. Everyone go out. And he let his brothers know who he was. I am Joseph. Don't be grieved. You didn't do this to me. God did this that he may preserve life through this famine. Now he says to them, haste, hurry up, go to my father. Tell him that his son, Joseph, is alive. God hath made me Lord in all Egypt. Come down, tarry not. Don't waste any time. Get here as soon as you can. Not only am I excited to see him, but I've got better things for you. I've got things that we've been preparing, we've been planning. And it may seem as they went through, onlookers, us, as we look on people's lives and they go through hard times and they go through trials, they go through testings and disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, and what do we think? Probably them, right? What's wrong? And they're like, boy, nothing is going right for Joseph. Nothing's working out for this kid. And he claims to be trusting in God, and he claims to have dreams, but it sure ain't working out. We see it that way. God saw it this way. I'm preparing something so that I may preserve life. He's going to preserve a whole bunch of life. God will preserve a whole bunch of lives, but his main purpose was that he may preserve Jacob and his family, because Jacob is Israel. And by Israel, Israel is God's chosen people. And as of right now, they're like 70-some people. He said, I'm going to make of you a great nation, like the sand of the sea. Today there is a great nation, people of Israel, the Jewish people. They're the only pure-blooded race dating all the way back to this time. They're still pure. They still have their tribes. There are still those of the tribe of Benjamin and of Dan, and they're still pure people. Some have mixed in and married with others, but most of them, and there are a great number of them, and since this time, all through history, even times after the Bible, there have been nations and leaders, evil people, led by Satan himself, that have tried to extinguish the Jewish people, and they have hated them, and they have not succeeded, because they are God's chosen people. God said, I will make of thee a great nation. And had they stayed, if they were to stay in Canaan, and we don't have time to get into this tonight, but if we know a little bit about Joseph's brothers, they were some bad dudes. And they did some stuff in some chapters that we didn't read in the land of Canaan. They're not good people. They got to get out of Canaan. They need to separate from those people because they're acting just like the people in the land of Canaan. They got to get out of that. But they can't mix in Egypt. See, the Egyptians, to them, they saw them, and Joseph sets this up. Joseph said to Pharaoh, my family, they're shepherd, they're herdsmen. And to Pharaoh, to the Egyptians, that was an abomination. So Joseph says, we're going to give you the land of Goshen, which was the best part of the land. It was the best place to go. I'm going to put you here. Now, God's using Joseph, but you know whose plan all this is, right? This is God's. And God designed this, that more than 13 years ago, he started setting this thing up, and things are going terrible for Joseph, but it's part of God's plan. And God saw that there were going to be 7 years where they could grow food and they would have things in all of the earth. And then there were going to be 7 years of hard famine, and nobody would have anything. Even the Egyptians don't have anything except for what Joseph saved, because Joseph was wise. And Joseph trusted God, and God said, do this, store up, save, because we're going to use this. And because of what Joseph did, all of the Egyptians and the rest of the world that would come were preserved because of what Joseph did, because God set it up that way. And God did that he could preserve Jacob, Israel. But in doing that, it also preserved much life of everyone else. They're only 2 years into the famine. Joseph says there will be 5 more years of hard times, 5 more years of bad things, but that's not really a problem because God saw it way back. God's not surprised that there's going to be 5 more years, and we look at things and we think, boy, it sure is hard what I'm going through. This sure is a problem that I've got. This sure is something, and I wish God would do something about it, except, well, he already knew 7 years ago. He already knew 9 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, before you were even born. God already knew about that, and he was planning and preparing what he was going to have. And we see things as terrible for us, but God says, wait till I'm done. Wait till I'm finished. Because he's not surprised. God was not surprised that there was going to be 7 years of famine. And he had things stored up for these people. And Joseph says, don't waste any time. Go home Tell Dad, tell him good things about me. He's going to be so excited. Jacob is like, everything's been going bad for him, right? He didn't even want to send Benjamin because he loves Benjamin. Simeon hasn't come home. He's in jail with the mean man in Egypt. Now you want to take Benjamin up there with you. And my son Joseph is not. I don't know what happened when he came to visit y'all, but he never made it back home. Just his bloody clothes came back home. And Jacob says, you're going to bring my gray hairs down to my grave. You're going to bereave me of my children. I've lost a wife. I've lost sons. I don't think I could handle any more grief. He's down. He's discouraged. But Joseph says, you tell him that old Joseph's here. Won't that be exciting? Dad hears about that. And he is excited. What? Joseph's alive all this time, and he's the guy that's in Egypt, and he wants us to come down there, and he's going to take care of us. And the noise from all of this that's happening, remember Joseph said, everybody out. Everybody out. It's just him and his brothers. And he goes to Benjamin first. Benjamin was probably like 1 when their mom died. They have the same mom, and they're the only ones with the same mom. Rachel was their mother. Benjamin's like 1 year old when mom dies. They have each other for just a short amount of time, and then Joseph is gone. Benjamin is grown up without his brother, without his mother of him. They share a moment because they have the same mother. Benjamin wasn't part of the crew that plotted against Joseph to be sold. And then after that, he goes to the others and he shares with them. It's just him and the brothers that's in there. And then it says that the brothers talked with him. They shared this whole time he knew who they were, but this whole time they didn't know who he was, and he has just revealed himself to them, and he's already offered them so much forgiveness and so much mercy. He didn't even care about that stuff that they did. He's like, God did this to save all of you. Now, I'm excited. Go tell Dad. Go bring him here. Bring him back, and they talk with him. This is their brother. They have changed. They're not where they need to be, but they're certainly not what they used to be. They have changed, therefore the better. And with all of that going on in there, it's just Joseph and his brothers. I said that a few times, didn't I? It's just them in there. But Pharaoh gets word because everybody can hear the noise that's happening, and excitement is spreading, and people are like, these guys are Joseph's brothers. These are his brothers, and he just told them that they can move here, they can live here, they can come here. And Pharaoh is excited about it. Pharaoh's like, this is great news. His family's coming here, his father's coming here, and his 11 brothers and their wives and their children and grandchildren. This is an exciting thing. And all of Pharaoh's servants are excited about it. The Bible says Pharaoh is excited. His servants are excited. You ever have people show up somewhere? Maybe to church, maybe at your work. People are you run into people. You excited about those people? Sometimes. You not excited about those people? Sometimes. That's not a bad thing, right? I mean, you see somebody coming. I know we're Christians and we love everybody, but we're all humans. I know y'all are humans. Somebody comes and you're like, it'd be like this. Let's put it like this. Somebody's coming and they're going to move in with you. All right? Let's go that way. Now you see some people and you're like, they're gonna move in with us and their kids. They gonna move their kids in with me? I don't think so. There may be a few that you would be like, this is great, this is exciting. But your list of that, how many people's on that list that make that list? I don't think so. Pharaoh said, well, hey, I just heard your father's coming and all your brothers and all of their family, they're going to eat off the fat of the land. They're going to have the best of the best. I'm going to take care of them. Pharaoh said, you can have whatever's mine. And then he gives them wagons, and he gives them all 2 changes of clothes, nice clothes, and he gives them things for their journey and money, and he says, bring them back, and he's excited about it. They're going to move here. They're going to become a great nation here. And all of his servants, all of the Egyptians, they're excited about it. Why are they excited? That's my question. Why would you be excited that someone was coming? You know why? Because they saw Joseph. They was like, there's more of them. There's more guys like that. The more of those we can get around here, better off we're going to be doing. Because Pharaoh knows if we didn't have Joseph, we wouldn't have saved up all this stuff. We wouldn't have known what was coming. We wouldn't have anything. We're 2 years into the famine, and Joseph has been selling corn. There's enough corn to feed the entire world for 7 years. That's a lot of corn, right? That's a lot of corn. Joseph's been saving that up. He knew what to do. I didn't. So there's one thing. He's been doing all of these things, and then when people come in, he charges them. I mean, they're giving him stuff. People are paying money. They're trading in animals. The Egyptians they run out of money and they ran out of food. So they came back to him and he says, all right, I'll take your herds and your cattle. And they gave him all of their herds. They gave them everything that they had. They're giving it to Pharaoh. And then they run out of they have no more possessions but their house and their land. And Joseph says, okay, then give your house to Pharaoh. Then give your land to Pharaoh, and you can stay in the house and you can stay on the land, but you work that land, and a 5th part of that, every 5th part of whatever you grow on that belongs to Pharaoh. You could stay in the house, but you're going to give that 5th part to Pharaoh, and everything that happens is getting blessed and blessed and blessed. And Pharaoh sees this guy is wise. He's a great worker. Everything that he touches, it turns to gold. He's polite. Everybody likes him. If there's more like him, let's bring them here. Let's fill the place up with them. That's what we call a testimony. That's what we call being a witness. If America had more Josephs, or even one Joseph transformed Egypt. Egypt did not worship God. Egypt did not know God. Egypt did not go to church. Egypt was not a Christian nation. Later on we see where Moses is in there, they sacrifice babies. They worship the god of the sun, the god of the river, they're worshiping the devil. They're serving the devil. They've got all these sorcerers and these people that do witchcraft, that have the power of Satan, and those are the people that Pharaoh turns to. Pharaoh turns to satanic people, and he says, in all of your wisdom, tell me what my dream is. Tell me what this is. And they can't help him. And Joseph comes along. And Joseph, he learns, wow, this guy's real. And everybody that knows him says the same thing. If America had a Joseph, one And here's what kids always think this. Actually, all of us think this. Well, so when you're a kid, elementary school, you think, well, whenever I'm in junior high, then I can serve God. When you're in junior high, what do you think? Well, whenever I'm in high school, then I can serve God. And when you're in high school, you think, well, whenever I get married, once I'm married, then I'll serve God. And once you're married, you think, once I have a kid. And I know everybody put a limitation on it. All right, once my kids are grown, then I can serve God. Once I'm a grandparent, everybody's thinking it's the next step. That's when I serve God. Joseph started, remember we talked about it last week. Joseph started out when he was young. So here's, when should you start? When should you start doing everything for God? Today. Start today. Today's the day. If not just our country, and you know there's places of our country that's a mess, right? If Joseph was up in that area, Minnesota, if there was Josephs in that area, would things be different? Probably. If his testimony spread and they're like, we need more kids like him. That's the better way. What about here in our state? If there was a Joseph in our state, we need kids like that. I need a young man like that. What if you had them? What if you had a Joseph working for you? I know lots of people. Or if you worked with a Joseph. You ever worked with somebody that just made everything better? I did that one time got a job, and I was between things, all right? I was doing what God wanted me to do, but at the same time wasn't what I wanted to do. And I got a job that was going to make things work out, but it wasn't really what I wanted, but it was the best I could do. I wasn't pursuing a career because I knew this is coming, right? God's going to have me do this. So if I go into banking or God would never let me get settled. He never wanted me to be in a place where I was really comfortable, because like Joseph's brothers, I could just settle into the world, get a job doing something. God says, no, I got something else for you. I got a place for you to go. Hold on. Don't get comfortable in that. You might hate your job for several years, but it'll get you by till you get to the place where I want you to be. And I got a job, a guy named Jared, and I thought he was crazy the first day that I met him. He was a nut, and I'm like, this is going to be insane having to work with this guy. You know what I found out, though? He was just like me. And he probably thought the same thing about this guy. He's crazy. But he worked hard, and everything he did, I was like, man, he makes work easy. What we did together, we tag team stuff. This job is easy. And I probably would have enjoyed it, and I would have got comfortable working with him. But you know what God did? He's like, man, you're getting too comfortable here. Pulled Jared out. He went to work for a church in Houston or something. I was like, man, just when things were starting to work out for me. Oh, that's the kind of people that we like to be around. Somebody like Joseph. And Pharaoh was like, I want more of him. So here's what we're saying. When you go to work tomorrow, do people say, oh, Toledo Bend Bible Baptist Church? If they're like her, that's got to be a good place. Oh, more people from that church. I know him. I bet those are good people. I know those are good people. Some of you, whenever I first came here, I was like, I met a few people, that guy, if they're like him, that's going to be a good place. I knew things like this. I can separate things. Y'all understand that? Like, I knew God wanted us to come here, but there were also things that was like, I mean, I didn't want to hate coming here, right? You all want me to hate coming here? And I don't want y'all to hate me when I came here neither. So it's gotta, everything works out the proper way. But when I come to visit, there was people, and I'm like, oh, if everybody there's like that guy, that's gonna be good. If there's more people like that lady, that's gonna be good. I'm not gonna tell you which those people were. Some of you, I'm kidding. I know all your secrets. Wherever you go to school, kids, you go to school, your teachers, they say, man, I wish more kids was like that boy. I wish more of the kids was like that girl. I can trust them. I can rely upon them. You're the ones that when the teacher leaves the room, they say, Michaela, you're in charge. Does your teacher ever do that? Oh, wow. Nice. And all that, usually what that means, though, is when I get back to the class, I want you to tell on everybody else. What they do, were they quiet? But they can trust. Teachers can trust you. Can your teachers trust you? If something happens, that somebody was cheating on something, and they did something they wasn't supposed to do, and the teacher says, did you look off of that? And you say, no, ma'am, I didn't. And are they going to believe you? Are they going to ask and say, okay, you didn't, were they? You might not want to, but we tell the truth. Can your teacher trust you? It sure would be nice to teach kids that if you asked them a question, they told you the truth. Today, in this day, it sure would be nice if you had kids, your kids, and you asked them and they told you the truth, right? If you had employees, if we had news or politicians or people that were leaders, if they just told us the truth, well, you know what we need? Joseph. If I ask the question, he's going to tell me the truth. Whatever he does, whatever he's supposed to be doing, he's doing it. I can trust him. I trust Joseph. That's all Pharaoh is thinking and saying right here. I trust Joseph. He was so excited when he found out Joseph's family is going to come and live here. I'm excited about that. The servants of Pharaoh, they were excited about that. There's going to be more of them that are coming, and his servants in verse 16. So Pharaoh said, I'm going to give you guys some good stuff. I want you to hurry back here. We're going to take care of you. Things are going to be great. I want us to be like that. Whenever people talk about this church, I want them to think about whoever it is that they know, because they don't all know me. They don't all know. They just know you. Whenever they find out about your church, I want them to say, I want more of that. I want more of them, because they're like Joseph. I can't wait to meet more of them. I want to be around them. Start today living your life so that when people find out there's more of you, they're excited to meet them. They're excited to have them in. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you for your word. I ask that you help us to be a Joseph in this generation, to be a person that takes a stand for you and a person that does what's right, no matter what it costs us, a person that does what's right, no matter what the consequence and the actions and whatever we're feeling, Lord. And the things that Joseph went through, he trusted you through it all. Just help us to trust you in all things, and to have a great testimony in the world. I pray that you bless this invitation in Jesus' name. Amen.